Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of East Meets West. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy it's your boy subscribe here. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. The Pistons game is actually still underway right now. We getting a dub today. Shout out to that part of the team, part of the lead team. Shout out to Rockets League. I told you we was getting a dub today. Young Daniss Jenkins, as you've been promoting heavily, been out here doing his thing, trying to steal Sasser's spot in the rotation.
I may have been able to provide y'all with some background info of Daniss Jenkins, but let's give the real credit where credit's due. That's Trajan Landon.
Oh yeah,
that's Trajan Landon, right? Because as an undrafted free agent, he didn't even wait. Right, that was like minutes after the draft was over, and boom, he had already agreed to a two-way contract with Daniss Jenkins, and he showed us some good stuff in the first summer league game. But I think now it's really starting to become clear what Langdon saw in him, and then how he potentially fits with this young Pistons squad.
Yes,
but
sir. And with that,
yeah,
being
said, I mean.
We got the
is it official? Okay. You see that?
73 by Houston. Go home. Shout out to the Cade and Jalen Green back and forth. We get dubs against y'all.
Let's just make this clear. Right? The early star of Summer League, right? The golden child has been Reed Shepherd. So I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? So no, all I'm saying is if you're going to espouse so much, like media, if you're going to espouse so much praise for him dominating, and even though it's Summer League, right, then I think the Pistons also deserve equal praise, or like some praise also, right, for stopping that Rockets momentum.
Yeah.
Because Cam Whitmore was out there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we'll get into that. But I mean, obviously, it's always nice to talk about a team in victory, but even when they were trailing, I think there was a lot still, even with obviously Ron Holland did not play today.
Yeah, sadly. I guess we gearing him up for tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't really, because if Bobi's playing tomorrow, like I don't really get that. I mean, you just turned 19.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You can't play it back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, they said that that initial report about his finger was bogus, that he's not nursing a finger injury, which good. I don't want him to be.
Right.
But at the same time, right, it almost took a little luster out of this matchup, but I just think, MJ, you and I were talking right beforehand. It's like, well, is this game still worth recapping? And I was like, well, Bobi might do something cool. And I think he did. So
Daniss did something good.
Okay, yeah, so start off. Let's go down.
26 points, man, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 4 assists, 3 boards. Bro was a plus 16, plus minus. He made 6 of 11 3-pointers. Good Lord. And shout out to ESPN for making my stream not work until it was 2 minutes and like 36 seconds left, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall. I fired up ESPN Plus. It wasn't working, and I put it on ESPN3 as the broadcast. Then boom, Pistons game. That's why I was asking you while we was going back and forth. Like, is the game on? Is it on? And then I click on it. It's like, 2 minutes left. I'm like, what the hell? But Daniss. I mean, just based on what I seen, and I'm still looking at him shooting these corner threes, wing three. That was Klintman. Man. This team looks good. Like Bobby Klintman looks like an actual NBA prospect. Like he gives me the Derek Lively feeling. By Derek Lively again. I know I said this the other day, but it's like he's gonna have an instant impact. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna come to the team, and he's going to once he's good with the team, he figures out his rotation. He's going to play like very important minutes. He's going to be what we thought we wanted in Bagley, what we thought we were going to get from, I guess, a little bit of Wiseman. What we thought, who else am I thinking of? It's like that was tall. Hell, I won't go back to Christian Wood. That's disrespectful.
Actually, I mean, I think the expectation of what you would have liked to have seen come consistently from Bagley, I think that's a good kind of goal, or perhaps a projected role. Right. In a weird way, I kind of think given how well he's shooting the 3 ball.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like his floor, if this 3-ball is consistent, his floor is what I think you guys hoped you would have gotten from Sekou Demboya.
Oh, well, damn. So we adding Sekou on today. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I know, right? You know, kind of like a perimeter-oriented big. Yeah. I wouldn't call him like a stretch 4, you know, but I'm saying like he has that range, and you know, he can kind of move the defense with him. But let's go back to the star of the show, Daniss Jenkins.
Okay.
Obviously, again, now it's I think it's, you know, hey, you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low, but when he's only giving you highs,
I mean,
I think it's warranted to be excited. Right. I mean, right now, again, like if you weren't familiar with him, you know, I think a lot of people in the scouting, like, you know, like draft junkies, they were. So he definitely was one of the top undrafted free agents, you know. And right now it's looking like, you know, it's looking like a great acquisition for the Pistons, even if just irrespective of whatever you think of Marcus Sasser.
Right.
Going back to what we said after the last Summer League game, today you saw even more. You saw him cooking even more on offense. But what was the first thing that, you know, you texted me earlier in the game? It was his block on Reed Sheppard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I hear a lot of people saying, like, you know, Detroit, their identity, you know, like all great Detroit teams have always had tough, like physically tough defense.
Yep.
And that is like, you know, a reflection of the city. And I love that. And some people are questioning, like, well, it's 2024, pace and space. Could that still work? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Celtics just won because of Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? Derek White all playing defense. So what do they mean?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, again, and even though right now he's on a 2-way contract still, I like that if you are bringing in, like, if Langdon is continuously just bringing in guys from 15, how many 2-way contracts are? 18. So, right, from man first to 18, you all take pride in your defensive responsibilities.
Right.
You know, I mean, that this only makes the team stronger. And he does. I'm not saying that Daniss Jenkins is like some, you know, stopper, you know, he's not some defensive stalwart, but I mean, he definitely competes. And going back to what we said last episode, right? He finds ways to, right? He can set the tempo. He can set tempo offensively. He also sets tempo defensively. Right?
Yeah, I like the way he was setting the tempo offensively today. Like, it felt like without Holland out there, like the good plays I seen from him today, like he was really like orchestrating things. You know what I mean? Like driving in, getting the ball to getting the ball where it needed to go and whatnot. What you doing? Saying something to Savant? Like,
yes, sir.
Yeah, but no, I just like what I seen from him today, and then his ability to stretch the floor and whatnot. Like, yeah, if we can get that in tomorrow's game and add Ron Holland to that, that opens up the floor for him just based on what we did today. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that just makes it better. Or even with the floor being out, it could be in reverse where Ron opens the floor and kick it to Daniss because he's gonna make he's a good chance to make a 3. You know what I'm saying?
And again, subtle adjustment.
Yeah.
But if you notice, from the opening tip, Daniss was point.
Yeah.
Not the 2. Right? Yeah. And I know it was looking kind of shaky for Marcus Sasser early in the game, but it seemed to put everyone, especially in Ron Holland's absence, it put everybody kind of like in their natural position, you know, kind of playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's for, you know, like we got Savant joining us saying, you know, maybe Daniss deserves. Hey, I mean,
I agree.
You still, well, that's the beauty, right? I mean, like, he's on a 2-way. You can always elevate him, right? You can always convert him to the 15-man roster because it's true. We were talking about that last episode, right? The Pistons probably could still use another point guard, like point guard, you know. Yeah. So I mean, it's looking great. I don't think there's much to really complain. I think he was not just assertive scoring, but he was definitely a stabilizing force throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
So
let's flip it to the talk of the town first before we go into Clinton. Okay, so Sasser Sasser.
It ended up not being that bad.
It wasn't that bad. But he dropped 13. He's got 2 steals, 8 assists actually.
Right.
3 rebounds. And early on, he was struggling. He did shoot 7 for 8 from the free throw line. He was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. But if you take those threes away, he's 3 for 4 from the field. So, I'm trying to make it nice.
You're like that. It's like that one time you're like, "Hey, Conrad, we lost the first quarter by 20, but from quarters 2 to 4, we played them even, man."
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta find. Well, was that a finals game I was referencing?
I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was the Mavericks, I think, where they won the other 2, whatever. They lost the whole series. But no, I know everybody's calling for his head, but it's just like we have to, I guess, give him a chance. I don't know. What's up, Savant? You talking about 3-point guards? Do we keep Sasser and add? He going in now. He going in, shooting guard in the 5'11" body. Do we keep Sasser and add Jenkins? You know what I mean? And then are we in position to just add Jenkins or elevate him whenever we want to, but not do anything with the rest of the money that we have? Go ahead, my bad.
So you still have 2 open roster spots. So the answer is yes. You could elevate him anytime. As long as there's an open roster spot on the 15-man roster, you can elevate him. If it was me, if I was in Langdon's ear, I would say just start the season with Jenkins on the 2-way contract, right? Maximize that thing anyway, right?
Yeah.
Get the full 50 or whatever it is, 50 games allotted.
Right.
Go into the season with a veteran point guard, right? That's where we talked about, right? Tyus Jones, Markelle Fultz, Russell Westbrook, right? We could talk,
what's up, Buckets?
Right? And then eventually, if it really, really, truly believes that Sasser is expendable, then trade him, waive him, and then bump up Jenkins later in the season. Right. Because I'd rather I think you still need a veteran point guard behind Cade, rather than putting the pressure on a rookie and a second-year guy who's not really a point guard, in Sasser.
Right.
So, but so going back to it, the misses. No. The misses. I can understand why it is very frustrating, because now he is basically playing the 2, and he's missing shots. But compared to last game, his floor game was significantly better. And that's not me just trying to be positive. He really was. And it was a lot more controlled. I though, and again, he was playing off of Jenkins,
Yeah. Wayne Bucket and Savant, team trade Sasser.
And that's the thing. I don't disagree with that. He is not a particularly good ball handler, which is why having Jenkins run point, right?
Mm-hmm. Opened up his game. It opened
It opened up the game, and you don't want Sasser to have to probe the defense. You don't want him having to try to make a secondary or a tertiary read. Jenkins was basically, set him up, and then even if he didn't take the shot, his assist, where it's because it was the direct assist, right? If there was such a thing as a hockey assist, Jenkins basically would have gotten a hockey assist on all of Sasser's assists.
Yeah, because he had 8, and so he registered 8.
Yeah, and so for that reason, I think he played within the flow of the offense. He didn't go rogue. I'm just saying, for the time being, you're trying to get the best out of him. That will all be settled, in training camp and whatever. But I think for the time being, I think Jared Jack, kudos to him, right? They found a way to get some good Sasser minutes,
Yeah, quickly. One game later. Yeah. Okay, so let's flip it back to the all good and go with Mr. Bobby Clinton, sir.
Bobi Buckets, man.
Bobi Buckets. 18 points, had 1 steal, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. This is where my Derek Lively comparison kind of kicks in. Throw some blocks in there. I'd rather he get the blocks than the steal, so it'll stick a little bit better. He was 4 for 8 from the 3-point line, and his ability to stretch the floor is crazy. It's like he is going to be effective in an NBA with our rotation. He's going to be effective. We needed 3-point shooting. Trajan Langdon came and just really cleaned up the table. You know what I mean? So He was also just 7 for 13 from the field. Played the most minutes. Oh, well, he just barely missed off Sasser by 11 seconds, but he shot 53% from the field, 54%, might as well say 53.8.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your he had 4 turnovers, but what's your observations on Mr. Bobi Buckets?
I mean, I try to proceed with, cautious optimism.
Yeah.
But it's just the 3-ball is looking really pure.
Yeah.
Like even when he started the game 0 of 2 from 3, like those were, as far as misses go,
warm-ups.
They were good misses. You know what I'm saying? Like they looked good. Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like and sure enough, found his rhythm. You said 4 of 8. His passing, now that we're seeing it up close, like it's becoming more and more clear that is actually his best skill. To start out the game, he takes like a dribble handoff from Tolu. He makes it look like he's going to flare out to the right wing to take a 3. Right. So then he actually just waits for Tolu to kind of get into the lane. And then he waits. A perfect delayed bounce pass. I mean, Tolu Smith got out, right? Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like he ended the game with like what, 2 or 3 assists. Yeah. He easily could have had like 8. Again, finding corner shooters. Finding guys like on crosscuts and everything like that.
Yeah. Who was he throwing to in transition? Where if he would have put a little bit of English on that ball, just when he threw it ahead. And it just rolled out of bounds. If he would have threw it and it bounced back into him, you know how you could throw that pass, like just flick your wrist on it like it's a bowling ball. Man, that would have been beautiful, bro. Like, I really think, like, based on what you were talking about when we discussed the draft and we talked about Trajan Langdon getting players that like will have that passing ability and like have the ability to actually read what the next move or the next pass or play needs to be within the offense outside of just Cade. Like, okay, so Cade passes to you. Okay, you can make this pass. You know what I mean? From the triple threat position. You don't have to just try to create for yourself or just jack up some shot. Like there are actual passers on this team that can, I mean, just looking at Bobi, he can create a whole nother, you know what I mean? A whole nother motion. So it's just like, hell, Cade can go from doing one thing. Bobi can go from doing one thing, break up the play. But then depending on how high the IQ, the floor, the team IQ goes, like that can really turn into something, you know, and it's not a lot of teams that actually can operate that way. Like we've seen the Spurs of the past, probably the Warriors, of course, where it's just like they just have that IQ. But it would be nice if the Pistons develop like a roster like that. That would be amazing.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Like you always want 1 or 2 guys on the court at any given time who can serve as like a safety valve, right? Mm-hmm. To take the pressure off the main, like, you know, the lead ball handler and reset some action, you know, when there's 14 or less seconds on the shot clock. I mean, I don't want to put all that pressure on him, but it's like, man, he's giving us reason to believe he can be that guy. And again, I just like, I'm not like trying to like say, oh, I was right and like this draft guy was wrong. It's just the biggest criticism about him was his athleticism.
I disagree.
Like, no, and that's the thing. Like, well, now that you're seeing it, I mean, we've had this discussion about just like, you know, combine athleticism and functional athleticism. Yeah. But it's just like, what is it that people believe he can't do with his athleticism, right? Like, you know, like I don't think anyone expected him to be like Clippers
LeBron
Blake
James
Griffin.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like for what he's best at, like I'm not seeing like his athletic limitations like holding him back or anything like that. So I mean,
this
is really intriguing.
It's not like he's moving like Detroit Pistons Chris Webber. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chris Webber, no diss, but after that point, like Chris was done. What's up, Holder? It's like Chris was on the last legs of his career moving that slow like that. Like, I mean, what are they, you know, alluding to? Who did they compare him to? Did you see?
I can't recall. It's just like it didn't really make like, I guess like, you know, my the way I looked at him in eval is like it's the way I saw his optimal role was like, what do I care? You know, like what his shuttle run is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the only thing I could say is fine, lateral quickness. But again, that's what we said. And again, Jared Jack committing it, right? He played all his minutes today at the 4 and the 5. Really, mostly the 4. You know?
Yeah.
They gave you minutes to Tolu, your boy Jason Johnson. Yeah. And actually they got Will Baker out of LSU in the game. This was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
He has some moments. But I mean, yeah, it's just
Wayne just dropped a gem. Jenkins is actually a point guard, play for Rick Pitino. If he leads our team, we will look better than that. Even if it's not Jenkins, just a fine quality point guard around the league. Yeah. So, okay, hold on. So before we continue, let's tap in with y'all a little bit more then. Okay, there's a potential for, and kill me for it if y'all want to. I love Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook becomes a free agent, do y'all want Russell Westbrook? Let us know in the comments. Go ahead, kill me. No, F that mic, whatever. Go for it. But go ahead, Con.
No, okay. Just to quickly answer that, I was not on board with it. No. But at $4 million,
yes, off the bench,
like
yes.
But again, right? I'm assuming, like we were talking about this, like
Fred Vincent with that 3-pointer.
Oh, forget about I just want what Russ is at that point. If I'm trading for Russ,
that's what they're doing with Bronny James. Damn, damn, Wayne.
But
Savon said no too. No Russ either. Okay, so no Russ. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm still Markelle Fultz. I'm not. No, dude. You can't. No.
And what is Markelle Fultz's 3? Like, what does that look like? Because I didn't see too much of him last season, but I love Markelle Fultz. I was following him.
Just the thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's shown enough improvements. I could easily look up his percentage right now, but like that doesn't move me one way or another. I'm not getting him for his 3-point shooting. Right.
Yeah.
I want him as like a true floor general, and his defense, specifically his defense. That's kind of why I favor him over Tyus Jones. At the end of the day, I still think this team, if they're going to be successful this year, it's going to be on the basis of their defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, even though I know you can laugh at guys like Beasley and THG, I think like if JB Bickerstaff can put together the right kind of lineups, even those guys that we believe are defensive liabilities, they can kind of be hidden, minimized where they're not hurting you too much.
Yeah.
And
we need more guard defense anyway, because Ivy guarding somebody, is Sasser guarding is. I mean, it's not like Jenkins is locked down. Like as far as like just point of attack defense, you know what I mean? Like Cade is good, he's lengthy, but when he sits down, then what happens? You know what I mean? So yeah. And I can't say that we have go for it. Go for it.
No. I was saying while we're on the subject of guard defense, I mean he's guard wing. Again, I don't want to make him like my charity case. But he did have some good. He had some good moments. Wendell Moore.
Yeah,
he really did. And again, right, like what made his draft stock go up to make him a late first rounder? It was on the basis of his defense, and he specifically, because he was very much in the picture today, like literally in the picture, because he was the one picking up Reed or switching off onto Cam Whitmore.
Right.
Look at Cam Whitmore's stat line, man. Like he absolutely took Whitmore out of his rhythm,
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm not saying Reed Shepherd is like, the second coming of Jesus Christ, but I mean, right? Through those first 2 summer league games, he looked as comfortable as you can get, right? And today he was very shaky. Shaky to the point where like he had to actually fight to get a good look. He had some, forced turnovers, 4 forced turnovers, right? Wendell Moore was pretty much in all of those, those possessions. He was in the heart of those defensive sequences. Again, he may not be long for the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we were talking about, right? You just need a defensive specialist. Maybe that might be his niche.
Bro, Cam went 1 for 15.
Again, is that all Wendell Moore?
No, probably
no.
Not, but you said
Wendell Moore and Jalen Slauson. Let's give Jalen Slauson some credit. He had some really good minutes too defensively. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, right, like he does have some skills, And so again, whatever they choose to do with him, like there is something I think you could work with, for the time being.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about, I guess, Tolu Smith. He went 3 for 6. He shot horribly from free throw. He could have really
this game should have been like a blowout.
Yeah, he could have blew this game out of proportion, but he did have 8 rebounds. He still had a plus minus of 11. 9 points, 2 blocks, a steal, 8 rebounds. So, I mean, what's your takeaway from the 20 minutes we've seen Tolu in his game?
I was talking to some fellow draft guys just yesterday, and we were talking about Tolu Smith. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes him. It's just kind of going back to what we were saying in the previous episode. What he did, in college, like that style of play, like I'm not sure. The same thing. It doesn't seem like it's going to translate to the NBA. Like I think he's going to have to kind of change up some of his game, because basically, like I said, for those who didn't watch him, when he was at Ole Miss, he was, he was a center, so he was feasting off of like lobs, diving to the rim, putbacks, I mean, maybe, hey, right? Yeah. If they keep him as a part of the organization, I wouldn't give him a 2-way contract, but I would give him an Exhibit 10, bring him to training camp, have him, and then send him to the Cruise, have him continue developing. I mean, it might be a lazy comparison, but modeling his game after Paul Reed isn't that bad of an idea. So
what's up, Brady? He said Tolu is good, who will benefit greatly from playing on the Cruise. Okay,
I agree.
So
and actually,
going.
Actually, under Langdon, now that we saw, the success of New Orleans and having their guys in their G League team. Yeah. I think they're Birmingham, right? I can't remember. I think the Birmingham is their affiliate. Like what I'm trying to get at is I think there's been a lot of criticism of the Motor City Cruise during Troy Weaver's tenure. Yeah. In the sense, like, can you really name any G League affiliate that made, you know what I'm saying? Like, were they able to really utilize the Cruise to develop rotation players for the Pistons? Right. Like, I know some of the guys that went through your guys' G League team, and kudos to them. They've gone on to some nice careers overseas, but ideally the goal is to develop them. Right. And hopefully they can be elevated, to contribute for the actual Pistons. That hasn't really happened yet. So I'm hoping, Langdon can kind of bring that formula that they had in New Orleans over here. Right. And I think Daniss Jenkins is obviously a good start. He's going to play for them. Yeah. Like we said, maybe Tolu, maybe Estrada, you know what I'm saying? So
I'd keep Estrada for sure. He didn't do nothing today. He
didn't light it up. The same thing. He had some good defensive sequences. And I really do. I know it's summer league. It's inevitably sloppy. Yeah. And you can laugh at both teams. Like, ha, right? The first quarter score was 16-13. Well, again, right?
It's summer league.
Were the Rockets just missing, or did the Pistons actually have something to do with it? And I really think they did. I mean, they were more, and even Jenkins, even though Jenkins is, again, like, not the biggest guy, they were relentless, fighting over screens, not giving any space. They were not gapping their guys. So, I mean, they limited the Rockets to only 2 3-point attempts in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of open shots for the Rockets.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they just only attempt, not even makes, attempts. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, I like what Jared Jack and the coaching staff are doing. Like, they are instilling, that mindset. Because obviously, like, especially for those guys that aren't under contract, if you're going to get on this team, you better be able to at least be willing to defend. So, I mean,
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, any of y'all got questions in the comments? Anybody watching, throw them now, because we're going to close here shortly. But
yeah, well, we're going to go
with one more of with one more person. What do you make of Slauson's night tonight? 1 for 5. What's that? And pretty much nothing else. But he was a +8. He had 2 points. Yeah. 2 turnovers, but an assist, 1 board. So where do you see Slauson? Like, what is his future? You would say, like, is it Cruz?
I mean, he's got more. He definitely has more skills offensively. than what he showed tonight.
Right.
I mean, he definitely took a back seat. I mean, guys like, Klintman, he was rolling, So, and like we said, right? Like, Ron, Bobi, Sasser, even Daniss, right? They're going to get the majority of the minutes anyway.
Yeah. So maybe he was kind of upended by Daniss today a little bit.
What I mean? But I mean, he had some really good connected plays. There's going to be no stats for it. He's put a lot. I can tell he put some effort into his screening.
Yeah,
I think that was a area of that he wanted to improve on. Because I remember seeing him for sack, last year. So because he had like some really nice off-ball screens that ended up leading to either like popping out, having Bobi pop out for like a corner three, or a couple like dives to the rim. So I mean, it was a good team effort. In the second half. I'd like to see more of him. I thought today would have been the opportunity with Ron sitting out, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so what you think? What you think about? Oh, let me not cut you off. What you got? What you about to say?
Oh no, that was it. I was saying like.
Okay, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
We play Matas tomorrow.
Oh man. Okay, so.
What's your
everybody?
Everybody
keep. We also. I am a born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I'm also like a diehard Warrior fan. I love the Warriors. I love the Pistons. So we will also be doing a couple like Warriors post game shows. We just haven't yet because they end really late for you guys on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know, the Warriors played Matas last night. All right, the Warriors Summer League team. I bring that up because, holy shit, man.
Okay, Brady.
You and I were high on him. He looked fucking good, dude.
Who?
Matas.
Matas, yeah, man.
I mean, like the Warriors Summer League team is pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Like they won quite comfortably against the Bulls. But as terms of Matas, I mean, he had the play of the night yesterday. I mean, he like completely posterized Daquan Plowden.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious, man. He's not. We talked about this. He's not short on confidence. But
Buckets seen it too.
No. He posterized Plowden, and then like I think he went like he finished the night 4 of 8 from 3 last night.
Yeah.
He had like 28 points, right?
Yeah.
But he started the game like 0 of 3, and when he finally made his first one, he literally stopped running in transition to yell to God, like, "Thank you, God." I think I'll just say this because I obviously you and I like Ron Holland, but we also were very, very high on Matas. Now that we've had time to think about it, we'll see. It's just I think Ron. Definitely his style of play and his style of play and his mindset probably fits this Pistons roster better. I feel like he is better at being a glue guy or a connective guy. Make no mistake, I think he can be more than that, but I'm just saying for year one as a rookie, he can probably integrate himself with the current team. Whereas Matas, like he looks good because that's what we were talking about. Like he's the type of guy I think he really does need a lot of possessions. He needs the ball in his hands a lot. Like I'm laughing. I'm not saying he's selfish, but I was saying he has a lot of moments where he's like clapping for the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Or like
we're gonna see how that's gonna work with Kobe White. We'll see.
Exactly. So I mean, I think he'll get the opportunity.
I agree with that, Brady. I agree with what he just said. We see you, Wayne. I see you with the Westbrook thing too. Now, Brady said Matas' weight was probably why we didn't draft him, and that was our worries too. We were talking about his weight, and I know I alluded to like Chet Holmgren. Like as soon as he went to go play, any NBA players, he stepped on LeBron's foot and he was out for a fucking year. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh shit, LeBron, muscle man, I'm hurt. I'll be back. So,
but I mean, it's funny that throughout the entire draft process, every single member of the G League Ignite were like, they were like pariahs. It's as if they had like the plague, and yet all of them got drafted.
Right.
And all of them, as if you include Tyler Smith, who went to Milwaukee, they've all been kicking ass in Summer League. Relatively speaking. So, I mean, it'll be interesting.
The G League is basically a narrow path to the NBA. Basically, it's like the NBA Light Junior is not G League, but it's a little bit better than most G League. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of players have come from the G League. I mean, what Kuminga,
Jalen Green,
sure, the Thompson boys.
No, Thompson's went to overtime.
Oh, okay.
They were overtime elite, but Dyson Daniels,
same kind of
thing. Dyson Daniels.
Yep,
I like him a lot. You know, he's now with Atlanta, but not like necessarily a preview because we got to cut out soon. But for tomorrow, I'm interested to see because now this game, Jenkins was the actual point. Like they put the ball in his hands from the get-go. They let Sasser play off of him, and we saw Holland struggle because Marcus Sasser was running point. Let's see if those possessions, like early in the game, look a little cleaner. You know, last game when Ron played, it was a little clunky. You know, let's see if there's a little bit more flow with Jenkins, and then now Ron playing off of Jenkins, or Jenkins off point.
Yeah.
So
I think it will. If what we seen tonight is any like foresight into what we'll see. I mean, because hell, Sasser had 8 assists from it. You know what I mean? From being a secondary kind of handler, a hockey assist guy. So if Ron Holland is a recipient of that, we might see one of them Matas dunks, but from Ron Holland. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. But give me a prediction before we cut out, before we get out of here. Y'all can all go in there too. What y'all predicting for tomorrow against Chicago?
Well, they are playing a back-to-back. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I think I'm with Brady. Do you remember Ron's missed dunk?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
Like he's gonna go for another one of those.
Dude. Yeah. I hope
he's gonna go. And I think given that he saw Matas's dunk, he's gonna go for one, dude.
Yeah, I need that. We need that. We just need that for Detroit, just for the highlights. You know what I mean? So we can have something else to talk about our rookie
but,
too.
Again, like this is an imperfect roster.
Mm-hmm.
But I give him credit. Like they got them playing defense. They got them really going after it on D. So I mean, you can't say the same about the Bulls. So for that reason, I would like to see the Pistons win this. I would imagine they're going to, but we'll see. You know.
Okay, before we cut out, what Wayne say? Smith, please go see the shooting coach Vincent. That release he has to go. Good player, good hustler. Let's see him shoot. Let's see a shoot instructor get him with a regular release. Predict the Pistons lead the court 2-1. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'll take that as a prediction. We
winning
don't have to
is
put an
fun.
Actual score up. Yeah,
winning is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna get the dub. We get the dub tomorrow. Shout out. We'll be back tomorrow too, y'all. We won't be cutting out on such short notice. Tomorrow. But we about to end this one right now today. So be on the lookout tomorrow. The notification will go up. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure y'all like, share, and you want to keep up with us.
Smash that subscribe button.
You see the Twitter names, and also follow at Pistons Lead on Twitter if y'all want to. On top of both our names, at EMW Pod for the podcast, of course. Notifications from there as well. And Brady, Wayne, Bucket. Everybody, who else up in here? Bucket, Bucket in here. Yep, Savant, Holder, all y'all, man. Just join back in tomorrow, man. We're gonna be here. Y'all have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Go Pistons.
That's right.